Hey everyone, welcome back to White Sparrow Living, Luke 12:6. I'm Wendy, and today we're doing the Mystery Box Challenge by Courtney over at Creative on the Cheap. If you're not familiar with the challenge, every month she does this and has about 9 creators on YouTube who are crafters, and we send each other a box of goodies depending on what the theme is. This month it's anything goes, so we can buy stuff from anywhere. Usually I'm a Dollar Tree girl, so I did a little bit of both for my person, who is Kelly Barlow over at Kelly Barlow Creates. And then the person that sent their box to me was Christina Elizabeth. I'll have all of the channels linked in the description box below, as well as the playlist, so that you can go in one big happy creative circle when you're done. So full disclosure, Michael J thought that I was getting a friend mail Perky prize, so he opened the box and brought it to me. I saw a Dollar Tree sign at the very top and then realized what this was, so that's why it's already open, but I did not peek, I promise. Oh, and then also there's a little twist this month. Courtney really gave it to us. So for this month's twist, which is very hard to say, Courtney gave us 3 options. First option is to use a plastic water bottle along with one of our challenge items, and there will be 2 of them in every box, and use that in one DIY. Second option was to use 3 elements, plastic, metal, and wood, all in the same DIY. And then the third option was to send your person an incomplete project that you started but never finished, let them know what you were going to do with it, and then have them finish it for you. So we're going to see what Christina sent, even though I already know there's a Dollar Tree sign in there. Okay, so we have some beautiful rose paper. Love that. We'll see. You see, I love roses. And then some wood rub-on transfer from the Dollar Tree. I have never seen this. This is really pretty. And then the sign that I saw, this one, you know, that's from Dollar Tree, and so, you know, it's one of a kind. We'll see what we can do with that. And then, ooh, these are pretty. I haven't seen these. These are some wreath stickers for spring. Aren't those pretty? Very farmhousey. And then there's some pretty flower ones in springy colors. We've got some laser wood cutouts with some fun friends. We've got dragonflies. Oh, these are cute. And then we have Weed It and Reap. How cute. That's really cute. I actually think I sent one of these to Kelly Barlow. So cute. And then this is a little house cutout. This is $2.99. I know I've seen these tags. Where's that from? Is that Michael's? I think it's either Michael's, could be Walmart. It's familiar, I just can't remember. I haven't been shopping in a minute. Oh, and then we have some pretty square beads, a beaded garland. This is from Dollar Tree. They're kind of stepping up their game right now. Ooh, pretty. Some mini burlap shaped flags. I guess it goes this way. These aren't very mini though. These are pretty big. I like that. I have not seen these either. And then a little, oh, wait, what? Okay, so I thought this was a soap dish, but it has a kickstand on the back. So, I don't know, maybe like dry erase or something? I don't know. Oh, I do need to explain my nails too. This was my mom's color, and for her funeral, all of the girls got together. We had a spa day at the place, not a spa day, well, I guess it was. We just didn't get a massage, but we got our nails and our toesies done in honor of my mom, so that we all had her color on at her funeral. And so that was just a special time. It's time to get rid of them now because they're really growing out. But yeah, when I look down at my hands, I see my mom's hands. Anyway, okay, these are super pretty. These are some spring colored wood beads. I can't believe these are at Dollar Tree. I have not seen these either. I've seen the small ones, but nice. Ooh, ooh, oh wait, okay, so one at a time. So we have some burlap pink roses. These are super cute. I have not seen those either. And then I actually sent Kelly one of these. We're having kind of a spring theme, aren't we? And so this is a little tin birdhouse. Oh, these are super cute. Craft garland with beads. They're little watering pots. I don't think I saw those. A pretty little flower pick. Very cute. Oh, I could... Well, go ahead, babe. And then I have some little rickrack ribbon. How cute. I love rickrack. My grandma used to use that all the time. I don't even know where to go here. We have some little mini black glass containers. Cutie patootie. Some, well, I'll do this one first. Some really pretty blue and white buffalo check or gingham, whatever you want to call it, fabric. And then I see, oh, these are pretty. I think, oh, these are from Dollar Tree. Oh, they're all from Dollar Tree. Oh no, these are from Walmart, and then these are from Dollar Tree. I do know those tags. I haven't seen these either. These are adorable. I love lavender. Purple's my favorite color, FYI. And then we have the Cloche dome from Dollar Tree. And then we have some black and white buffalo check adhesive vinyl from the Dollar Tree. Yay! And then these are our 2 mystery items. And now I see her cards. So let's start with this. This is the twist. That'll tell me which of the 3 she chose for me to do. It says, Wendy, I'm so excited to be a part of the Mystery Box Challenge. While getting your box together, I had spring on my mind. So did I, Christina. I can't wait to see what you create. I know everything will be absolutely beautiful. Happy crafting, Christina. That's my ice maker. Okay, so let's see what the twist is. Wait, should I open this or should I open these? I'm gonna open these first. This is challenge number 1, challenge item number 1. Oh, it's a birdie feeder. Okay, that's gonna be fun. That is definitely a challenge. All right, Christina. And then mystery challenge item number 2. Oh, it's an ombre tote bag. Oh, that's cute. I've never seen that either. Gosh, I haven't been to Dollar Tree in a minute. Okay, well, let's see what our twist is. Must work these 3 elements into one DIY. Wood, metal, and plastic. Okay, so I don't think that's that hard. I don't think so, but anyway, I'm excited to see what I come up with. I'll be back, I don't know when, a few days or so, and then we'll get to crafting. So now, without further ado, let's get started. So we're going to be starting with our bird feeder, and I'm going to take this apart and I'm just unscrewing the top. I'm not going to use that part, but the bottom part, I'm going to screw that off of the bottom, and then I'm going to turn this whole thing over. I'm going to pull apart those 2 pieces and then pull those flowers out and leave just the holes. Then I took my ugly cutters and I'm going to make that flat so it doesn't stick up and it stays flat on the surface. And then I took a bunch of hot glue and some permanent adhesive. I'm gonna glue that to the top of that little round piece, whatever, that's gonna be our stand. And then on the top, I'm gonna turn that top part over and put it on top of the clear part. And now we have a candlestick. So now I'm gonna paint my entire candlestick with my Waverly chalk paint in white. And I think this looks like a big old chunky candlestick holder. And you know, at Dollar Tree, they have the smaller ones that we use for everything. So it was kind of nice to have something else that looks pretty and pretty substantial, all for just $1.25. So now I'm taking some styrofoam, and if I had the smaller kind, it would have been easier, but I'm just gonna stick that on top of my candle holder and then cut that down into a semicircle, and then cut it horizontally so that it's thinner. And then I took the indentation of that top part of my candle holder and pushed it into the styrofoam, and then globbed on a bunch more of the hot glue and permanent adhesive and stuck that right on top. Now I'm going to take some of these pretty plastic lavender flowers that Christina sent me, and I'll cut those down with my wire cutters and then just start poking those into the side of my styrofoam. It took 2 of the stems, but I could have used a 3rd one, but since the styrofoam was green, it doesn't show, but it would have been nice to be a little bit fuller, but I didn't have any of this type of stem, so it still looks pretty though. And purple is the color of lint, so it worked out perfectly, and I love this piece when I'm totally done with it. So now I'm going to take some green moss, and this is always such a messy procedure. So I just took my hot glue, gobbed it on top there, stuck my moss on there, and then made sure there was a little flat area for my fake candle that is also from the Dollar Tree. And here's how it turned out, and I think this is such a pretty candle holder, and it could be for any season, but the purple is perfect for this liturgical season. I love how this turned out, and I hope you like it too. For this project, I'm using the faux wood rub-on, the wooden house, and the wreath stickers. And I took the sticker off of the little wooden house, and I'm going to mask off the chimney so that I can paint it and leave that raw wood so that I can stain that later. So I'm taking my chalk paint in French linen, and I always forget the name of this brand, but it's Hello Hobby from Walmart, and it's not Waverly anymore. I don't know, they just don't carry it anymore. So I'm just going to use the Waverly antique wax to do my chimney to give it a little dimension. And then I took my sanding sponge and I'm going to distress the edges by sanding it really well and letting some of that pretty wood show through. So now I'm going to take my wood rub on, and I want this to be really rusticy looking and distressed, so I don't want any perfect sides. So I'm using, actually I used my fingernail first to give it that rooftop and made sure that it was all scraggly and just really worn looking. And then I took my squeegee and just started pulling it off and getting some of those nooks and crannies and letting some of it rip, and it just gave it such a pretty worn look, and I didn't have to paint it. So anytime you use this rub-on material, whether it's the letters or just different decals of some sort, it sticks to everything. So I put the backing sheet over my chimney and taped it down on the back side so that it wouldn't get onto the stain that I did on the chimney. So now I'm going to take the big home wreath from the sticker set that Christina sent, and I was going to put it in the middle, but I decided it needed to be up a little higher so that I could put some cuteness out down at the bottom. And so to do that, I'm taking some linen cotton ribbon from burlapfabric.com. I made a sweet little bow and then wrapped some around and glued it on the back so that you couldn't see it. You could make this double-sided too. I thought about it with the black and white buffalo check vinyl, but I ran out of time. You know how that goes. So anyway, I just glued that on top and it's all done. And how simple and sweet is this little gem? I think he's so cute and perfect for any little vignette that you have or tiered tray. I love it, and I hope you like it too. So for this project, I'm using the mini burlap flags and the little watering can garland. We're going to make 2 garlands, but I'm going to show you one by itself and then the other one if you like that double tiered look. So I'm just going to take off all of the watering cans from the twine that it came on and the beads, and then using my little CRICUT Joy, I'm going to cut out the word garden, and I'll do those in single letters. And then I didn't even use transfer tape with this stencil tape. I just pulled it directly off of the backing sheet and put it onto my burlap because they're not real intricate or anything. So you just have to be careful not to get it stuck on itself, if that makes sense. And then once I get it onto my burlap, I'm going to take my white chalk paint and a pretty dense stippling brush. It's not really a stippling brush, but it's kind of hard, so it worked out perfectly. You just want to use that at a 90-degree angle and tap your paint right on there and let some of that show through, and then carefully pull your stencil tape right off, and it leaves a beautifully crisp line on all of your letters. So now I'm taking the pretty spring flowers that she sent, and these also have a really good adhesive on the back. You could hot glue this if you wanted, but I'm just going to put those on the letters and double up on some of them and just get them all pretty springy and beautiful. And here it is all finished, and I think the simplicity of this is what's really getting me. I love it so much. I really didn't even want to add the second one, and I did, and I'll show you what it looks like, but I think I'm going to take that second one off and put it on a shelf or something. But anyway, I love this one, and I hope you guys like it too. So let's move on to the second one. So for this one, I'm just going to paint my little watering cans, and I'm leaving the handles in the raw wood. And I did paint the front and back and the sides of this. So then I'm going to print out some words in the Ray Dunn style, and this is called The Skinny, and you can get that on defont.com for free. And I'm just going to use the transfer method where I rub the chalk on the back of the paper where I printed it out, go over it with a pencil or a pen, and then it transfers on there, and then you can use your paint pen to get those words on there. And I think it looks good. It's not perfect, obviously. It's not like having a cutting machine, but it's also a lot quicker. And if you don't have a cutting machine, I like to give you guys options of what you can do without having one. So then I fed some jute twine into the tops of my watering cans, and then I'll feed on some pretty spring color beads from the ones that Christina sent, and then I'll tie another knot. And wait, did I tie another knot? Well, anyway, I don't remember. But then I just tied it to the actual jute twine that the garland originally came on, but I'll do it really loosely so that I can move those around. And I'm putting 3 just regular wood beads in between. I get those from PINECRAFT, and I'll have that linked in the description box below as well. And then fed 3 on, added a pot, and then 3 more beads, added a pot, and it's done. And here it is all finished. And I love the little garland, but I just don't think they really look perfect together. I don't know. What do you guys think? I like them separate. I just love the simplicity, I guess, of the big garden one, the burlap one. So anyway, I love it, and I hope you guys like it too. So now for my twist challenge project, I'm using the metal birdhouse and plastic floral picks that Christina sent. And then for the wood requirement, I'm using a Dollar Tree wood bead wreath. And I love making these cinchy wreaths. They're so easy. I'm just going to put 2 of my stems together, and I'll use a Dollar Tree zip tie and then cut those big thick parts off of the stem at the bottom with my wire cutters, or you can even bend it back and forth and eventually they'll just break. And then once I get it all together, I'm going to kind of bend it to a curve so that it conforms to the curve of the wreath. And then I'll attach it to the bottom using some green paddle wire, and that way it doesn't show. And then to attach my birdhouse, I used my crocodile to punch a couple of holes at the bottom, and then I used 2 more of those nylon zip ties, and I'll wrap those around the wreath and the greenery at the same time on the front and the back so that it would stand up straight. So then I took some white Dollar Tree cotton fabric and I cut 3 strips. Well, I cut little snips, and then I tore it to give it a cute rough edge. And then I also took a scrap piece of Walmart drop cloth that I already had in my scraps, and it was already tattered and torn, so it was just like I wanted it to look, just like me actually. And then I'm just gonna fold it over into thirds to make a scrappy little bow, and then I pinched it in the middle. And then I took a chenille stem and wrapped it around that middle. And then I'll do the same thing with 2 of my white strips, and I'll put those behind the beigey colored one. And that 3rd piece I'm going to add into this little bundle for just some more tails. And then I'll finish it off with my favorite Dollar Tree ribbon right on top. I'll just make a little bow and then stick it on top. And then I'll use the extra pipe cleaner to get it onto my wreath for some more cutie patootiness, but also to cover up my zip ties. And then I used a leftover yellow flower sticker to cover that hole where I pulled out the stick of my birdhouse. And I just love this sweet, sweet wreath. I don't normally use a lot of yellow in my decor, but that's one of the fun parts of the mystery box challenge. You get to play outside of your little color sandbox, and depending on what you get, you just kind of have to play along. Okay, so the easiest DIY ever, and actually one of my favorites. I think the hardest part was just taking off the tag and getting my little dragonfly out of the carton. So all I did was put a bunch of super glue, well, not a bunch, just a little bit of super glue just along the little skinny areas on the back of my dragonfly. And then I'm going to place it smack in the middle of the tray, and it's done. And you do have a little wiggle room before the glue dries, but I didn't want any seeping or, any of that glue showing, because you'll be able to see that. So I was super careful, but oh my goodness, I love this so much, and this isn't even a reveal setup. It's just my actual shelf decor, and I think it's gonna stay there. So now for our Dollar Tree sign, I'm using my CRICUT spatula to remove the paper from the front, and then I took off the sticker from the back as well, and then I'm going to sand both sides because we're going to make this double-sided. So using my white chalk paint, I gave the base a few coats to make sure the teal color didn't peek through, but on the brown part, I let some of that show. And then on one side, I added a little bit of my French linen paint to give it a distressed finish. And then at the top, I added some black and some white and just mixed those all together. And it was on the wet paint, so I didn't let it dry. And then that way it gets all nice and blended. And I just painted a half circle. And then next to that, I added some more of the brownish gray colors to give it like a stone look and just kept playing with it until I got what I think looks like a tomb opening. And then the stone that was rolled away is right next to it. And then at the bottom, I made 3 crosses, which I think it looks like they're in the foreground, and then the tomb is in the background because it's like higher and smaller, if that makes sense. And then on the other side, I painted the second level, the one right over the white one, with my Hello Hobby chalk paint in mauve. And then I added a little bit of white to make it a lighter shade of purple for the next level, and then a little bit more white for the very top circular portion. And then I cut out all of my decals and transferred them on. And because Lent just started on Wednesday, this is a great project to remind ourselves what we focus on or what we should be focusing on during these 40 days before Easter. So Lent is a way of preparing ourselves for what's about to happen. And just like Jesus did in the desert for 40 days, preparing for his ministry, he prayed and he fasted. And then almsgiving is just another word for charity. So we try to find ways to go and give above and beyond what we already do. And yes, we should be doing this all during the year, but this is just a special time in particular that we're meditating on the word and praying more earnestly, more often, more deeply, just a way of connecting with him and what he went through, since we should be following in his footsteps and following him. And then purple also represents repentance, which is very important and kind of the foundation of everything, and being sorry for our sins. And then on the other side, I put the tomb was empty, so you can turn your sign around when you celebrate Easter Sunday. And then for some more cuteness, I took 2 of these glass containers and glued them to the sides of my sign, took the lids off, and then I can put purple flowers in them during Lent and then white flowers during Easter, which is the liturgical color for the Easter season. Again, this is another great way to teach your little saints in training the seasons and colors and the meanings behind them, and it's also super cute. I have some viewers that always ask for kids' church group projects that are easy and inexpensive, and I think this would be even more adorable in their own handwriting. Can you see that? That would be so stinking cute. But I love it, and I hope you love it too. Here's another easy project, and I'm using the Cloche dome and the wood flower pick, and I'll paint the base white, and then my flower I'm going to paint in shades of pinks and lavenders, getting them all blended together. And then I'm going to use my white paint pen to give it a cute little outline so that it kind of sticks out. And then I put the stick right into that little hole that's already in the base of the dome, and it's the perfect size. And then I cut it off so there's a little teeny piece sticking out, and then that way I can add some hot glue to keep it in place. And then I'm going to take a Dollar Tree bunny pick that I had in my stash, and then I'm going to paint him white along with this Dollar Tree candlestick. And then I used some pink ink and a Q-tip to give my bunny a cute little nose and some rosy cheeks. And then I hot glued a teeny tiny little white pom-pom to his fanny, which, by the way, was the very first thing that Cadence noticed when she saw this and thought it was so cute. So the details are everything. Now I'm going to take one of Dollar Tree's metallic markers in this pretty rose color, and I'm going to write springtime on the very front of the base. Now, if you don't want to write this freehand or cut anything out, you can just wrap some ribbon around it, or you could just leave it blank. And then I'm doing some more glue globbing and attaching the base to the candlestick. And then I added some of the green moss on top, and you don't want to add too much so that you can still get your dome to click into place. And then I cut the stick off of my bunny and hot glued him in front of the flower, and it's done. And here it is all finished. I love elevating these little domes because you can actually see what's inside a lot better, and it makes it seem more important looking. And I love his little bum. But I love it, and I hope you like it too. So for this challenge item, we're using the netted tote bag Christina sent me, and I end up pivoting a couple times on this project, but it was so good in my head. But I am going to be using this big plastic bowl from the Dollar Tree, and I was going to use this other container, but I end up scratching that in the end. But the good news is I have another project all ready to go for next time. So I painted my bowl black, and then I stuffed it into the bag with the opening at the top, and then I just tucked it inside of the bowl. Now the original plan was to use the other container as a base or like a pedestal to raise it, but I did not love it, so my daughter Kennedy actually came up with another option. She had suggested adding one of those race tracks from the Dollar Tree as a handle to make it into an Easter basket, but it was a little too short, and so instead I used another one of those wood bead wreaths, and I shaped it into a handle and then made little hooks at the ends to attach it to the sides of my bowl, and then added a plant and some Dollar Tree Queen Anne's lace around the rim. That stuff is so messy. But anyway, that was pivot number 1, and I do like it, but I just wasn't getting a very springy look with the black. So I usually really like pink and black, but this just wasn't really doing it for me. But you might like it, and it might go with your decor. So anyway, I took another bowl that I happened to have and then made holes on the sides with my crocodile. And then I put the netting over it just like I did before, and then added my handle. And then now we're talking. I like it so much better. I thought this would be a great hack if you're doing a homemade Easter basket. And then plus you can disassemble it afterwards, and then you have a tote bag for your little one, and then you have a salad bowl and a wood bead wreath for yourself when you're all done with it. But anyway, so then I just put it back together with the plant and the picks, and then there's a bow that came with this plant that was sent to us. And then, I don't know, just having the white under it just made my eyes so much happier, and I think it was worth all the pivoting. But I love how this turned out, and I hope you like it too. So finally, I'm using the beautiful paper and the burlap roses, which happened to match perfectly, and I think Christina was just being really sweet with me. And then for my own Dollar Tree stash, I have this big cutting board. So I usually use the back sides of things like this, or I tear off the paper, but I really liked the distressed edge that was printed on here, so I just scraped off the bumpity bumps from the glitter and the glue and then sanded it down to give me a smooth surface. And then I traced the curve of the board onto the back of my paper and then cut those corners down and then globbed on a bunch of glue with my glue stick, and then I'm going to place that on top. So now I'm going to take a Dollar Tree chalkboard and I'm going to paint this white. You could leave it as a chalkboard and write your dinner menu on here, or love notes, or daily scriptures, but the black was no bueno with this pretty paper. So, oh, I could have done the buffalo check. Anyway, then I took some greenery and made a cinchy swag, and I think this is the boxwood from Walmart. And then I used some jute twine to attach it to the top, but I wrapped it around twice, well, really 1.5 times, so that it tied back in the front, and then I could add some beads. And then I hot glued it to keep it in place. And then next I added my pretty little roses in the middle in a sweet little triangle. And I'm doing all of this while the paint is drying on my chalkboard. So now I'm using the same rose marker and I'm writing out, "Give us this day our daily bread." And then I'll go back and give it that faux calligraphy look by making my downstroke lines thicker and smoother. So now I'm going to glue my sign onto the cutting board, and I use some hot glue and some permanent adhesive, and then I'll add my beads to that extra jute twine, and then I'm going to drape them over the edge, and then I'll hot glue the twine on the back of my sign. And here it is all finished, and I am pretty smitten with how this one turned out. And you know what? I always get asked where I got my Jesus figurine, but it was gifted to me by a friend whose grandma had passed away, so we don't know where she got it. It's super old and I just love it. So anyway, I hope you liked these projects. I would love it if you hit that thumbs up button, and if you're not already, I hope you'll consider hitting that subscribe button down below, as well as the little bell right next to it, so that you can be notified every time I upload a brand new video. Don't forget to check out Kelly's video next, and then just keep going through that whole playlist. Remember the reason for the Lenten season. I hope everyone has a blessed day, and remember to always be the light. Bye!